Hello and welcome to the Shoreline Benefice for Let Me Tell You a Story. Today, Rodney and Alana are going to read to you their favourite Bible story and then share with you why this story is so special to them. In between the two stories, you can then listen to a hymn. And if at the end of the recording you decide that you would like to share your story, I would love to hear from you.
This is a brief contribution from Rodney Freeman of Harkstead. I'm going to read you a short passage from chapter 14 of John's Gospel and then explain why it always makes me smile and what I like about it. I'm reading from the New International Version of the Bible, and the subheading which appears is Jesus comforts his disciples. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I am going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I am going. Thomas said to him, Lord, we don't know where you're going, so how can we know the way? Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Well, what I love about this piece is the reference to Thomas, who is my favourite disciple. He's always had a bad press, known as Doubting Thomas, which I think is totally unjustified. It's a rather disparaging title, and I think very unfair. Thomas gets 3 mentions in the Bible, apart probably from being mentioned as one of the disciples. The best known scene is the one in the upper room where the doors are locked after the crucifixion and Jesus suddenly appears risen from death. Thomas is not present. He arrives later and he's told of Jesus' appearance, and his response is, well, I saw him crucified. Do you expect me to believe that? I won't believe you unless I can put my finger in the holes. A very honest response, very logical. The earliest reference to Thomas is when Jesus tells the disciples that he wants to go to Judea to visit Lazarus. And all the other disciples, apart from Thomas, say, you can't go, Lord, you'll get stoned before you get there. Thomas, who was silent to start with, then says, well, don't be so pathetic. Let's all go and get stoned. And then there's the reading from today, when Jesus says, I'm going to prepare a place for you, you know the way there. They're all rather puzzled, but they don't like to admit it, and they keep quiet, except Thomas. Thomas says, we don't know where you're going. We haven't a clue how to get there. And Jesus is forced to explain in another way. So Thomas was the awkward one. He was honest and logical. He was the stubborn one. He was brave. And he was the one who wouldn't let anything slip past him. If he didn't like it, if he didn't believe it, if he wasn't sure, he would challenge. He would challenge everything. And that's what I admire about Thomas.
Joanna from Shotley Gate. I would like to read you a passage from Song of Songs, chapter 8, verses 6 to 7, which was read at my daughter's wedding earlier this year. Place me like a seal over your heart, like a seal on your arm. For love is as strong as death, its jealousy unyielding as the grave. It burns like a blazing fire, like a mighty flame. Many waters cannot quench love. Rivers cannot sweep it away. If one were to give all the wealth of one's house for love, it would be utterly scorned. My daughter and her husband love one another very, very much and show great care and consideration to one another. And this passage reflects it very well, in my opinion. It was a love story written by King Solomon, and in its entirety, it is a little racy perhaps for modern tastes, but it burns with authenticity and above all, love.